Hi there Sagittarius, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is going to be your weekly intuitive reading for November 16th through to the 22nd. And before I get started, Saggy, I just want to say thank you for all of your amazing and supportive comments about me doing this face to camera thing and, you know, finally overcoming shyness and just getting out there. It feels really good and everyone was really supportive, no mean or nasty ones, so thank you so much. Yeah, here in Melbourne, Australia, we are starting to enjoy some little freedoms, which has been amazing. First gym workout in about 8 months, guys. Good that I'm sitting here doing this because I am still in pain from 3 days ago. Let's get started, Saggy. I will be beginning with the Work Your Light Oracle as always to pull you an overarching energy or theme, getting you a tarot card out from the Moonchild Tarot for your overarching energy, and then getting the tarot story with the Rider-Waite and the Star Child Tarot. So let's get started, Saggy, and see what wants to come through for you this week. There it goes. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I mean, there's lots to this, obviously, guys, but one of the things that always comes up for me with this card is, you know, being careful what you agree to. You know, your yes and your no are very important tools, and sometimes we feel like, you know, we just have to say yes, but our body wants to say no. And then when we're in that position, we can, you know, not follow through. And then we feel bad, then the guilt comes up and all of that. So this week I am challenging you to only agree to the things that you know that you can really follow through on. And that makes us a lot more aware of our word and what we're actually putting our energy into. For some of you, you know, establishing better boundaries might be removing yourself from an experience, a person, a situation, drawing a line in the sand, maybe cutting off contact with somebody, maybe, you know, better work-life balance when it comes to your career or your job. Boundaries can come in many different forms, so really tuning into that and just make sure that you're honoring yourself and your truth. So let's get your overarching tarot card out. For Saggy, we've got one that's turned over and I have got the Five of Swords. Well, that kind of makes sense with the boundaries card for me. I mean, you might be aware that the Five of Swords, you know, does actually talk about conflict situations. So I just realized there's another one behind that as well. It's the Six of Swords. It's all happening here. So the Five of Swords can be that conflict. It can be internal or external. And it's kind of the next level up from, say, the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is, you know, pettiness and gossip and, you know, misuse of energy, whereas the Five of Swords, things can kind of escalate, sometimes get a bit cutting or nasty, or it can just mean that the situation that you're in, maybe the one that you need to have boundaries in, you're kind of fighting a losing battle, and it's about knowing when to retreat your energy. And Six of Swords, you know, move on. Sometimes we actually need to, with a heavy heart, you know, actually, you know, get in that boat and move on to smoother sailing. You know, that's what the Six of Swords is about. It's a necessary rite of passage away from a situation that has been causing us conflict, and you just might need to draw that line in the sand and have that boundary and move on from it. So interesting energy. I'll see what comes out in the tarot story and if that supports this storyline or whether this is just a message for some of you. So Saggy, let's go to the Rider-Waite and draw the energy of the recent past. Energies leaving, completing, that was you showing up there, Temperance, and transitioning in your life. That's what I'm feeling, Saggy. Judgment. It's a final call on a situation here that may have been keeping you small, limiting you. The Devil for me always links to the Judgment energy. Let's get the current or focus energy out for Sagittarius, please. Current or focus energy for Sagittarius. I've got two. Oh my goodness, yeah. Eight of Swords. Nine of Wands. Almost, but not quite. There's a real message here of liberation, needing to liberate yourself, Sagittarius. Let's get the outcome energy out, please. Five of Wands. Yeah, no, I started talking about that when the Five of Swords was coming out because I was feeling that. So guess what's at the bottom of the deck? You can see it. Six of Swords, the one that came out in the overarching energy as well. Saggy, double Six of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords. Let's clarify. Clarifying Judgment. Cards are animated. Clarifying judgment for Sagittarius, that one's jumping. Queen of Cups. Clarifying the Nine of Wands, Eight of Swords. Seven of Cups. Clarifying the Five of Wands. Knight of Wands. And clarifying again that Queen of Cups, please. One more for that. Lovers, there's a choice on your hands here. I've got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of this deck here. Wow, Sagittarius, Queen of Wands. I mean, it's generally the energy of Aries, but I'm going to say in this reading it is probably your energy here. Okay, well, let's jump in. Okay, Judgment. I wasn't surprised when this came out here, Saggy. I mean, what we're seeing here is like you've kind of arrived at a final port of call in a situation. The energy of Judgment can be the wake-up call, and it can be an internal wake-up call or something happening externally that kind of shows you that you need to bring change to a situation. It is the Major Arcana that comes before the World, which is the last card in the Major Arcana, which, you know, links to great cyclic completion, the end of karmic contracts. So Judgment comes before that to say, hey, you know, is there more to play out in this situation? Is there a second chance, or is this the last call? Do you need to move this across to cyclic completion, or is there more to learn, more to journey in this situation? And, you know, you saw that this came out with the Devil at the bottom of the deck. See, I know my camera doesn't auto refocus, guys. I will get another one in the future, but see the black boxes that those people are launching out of? For me, I always say that it's the Devil energy in those black boxes, which is anything that keeps us, you know, bound, small, limited, addicted, codependent, financially, you know, insufficient, all of those kinds of things. And really the angel or the Judgment situation comes in to liberate you from that. So these people are naked and vulnerable. They are, you know, saying, well, I've got nothing to lose. I've actually got everything to gain. So even though I feel vulnerable, I'm leaving or launching out of what has kept me small. So that's the Judgment energy, guys. It can be a divine wake-up call, that kind of thing. What I'm really seeing here is that it's leading you to a big choice in your life. I've got the Lovers here. So, of course, for some of you, the Lovers can be that, you know, you're dealing with soul partnership here, a partner and that kind of thing. It's not overly, you know, clear here from the energies that this is just a love situation, so I try to keep it general. But the Lovers is also a card of choice, a big choice around a matter of the heart. And for me, you know, the choice is stay or go. Carry on in the situation or move it across to cyclic completion and, you know, move towards, we've got number 6 here, 6 of Swords twice. 666 is not a devil number, it is a number of healing, balance, joy and harmony in the tarot. So it says that by maybe moving on from the situation and making a good choice for yourself, you can move into a time of greater peace and emotional stability. Queen of Cups, 6 of Swords. So you are being asked to make a necessary rite of passage or a move away from the high emotions to a place of emotional stability, groundedness. The Queen of Cups is about tuning into your intuition and making a decision that is right for you on an intuitive level. She is the energy of Cancer, so some of you might be dealing with a Cancer person or moving away or towards a Cancer person as well. But it's the energy of moving on, and it's moving on to a time that is just more grounding, and you're more in your emotional center, more in control of yourself as well. So that's what I'm seeing there, guys. But I just feel that for you, you know, it's not going to be okay, I'm just clear, I've reached judgment, I know exactly what I do, I'm going to get on my boat and sail off into the sunset. It's just going to be more difficult than that. There's a lot of emotions invested here, there's a lot of energy around this situation. I've got the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. And for me, the 9 of Wands is that energy of, I kind of know what I should do, but I'm just not ready, or in the fear of doing that. You know, the Nine of Wands is one wand away, that the Queen of Wands carries over here, or the Knight of Wands, one wand away from letting go of the release of the burden, you know, because that Ten of Wands is that energy of just letting that burden go and release. So the Knight of Wands is kind of like, be careful that you just don't stay in this situation, and as the wounded warrior, it's, you know, almost but not quite moving on. And you can see that beautiful green pasture behind this person here. It's like you're so close to getting to, you know, your Lemuria, your heaven, your more stable time. But I feel like there's a judgment between you and that situation. With the Eight of Swords, there's kind of an indicator here that the situation is holding you bound. And you might be stuck this week in the overthinking, the overanalyzing, and the mental energy, which really creates that mental prison for us that holds us, you know, holds us in that pattern of not being able to move forward. And you'll see that in that Eight of Swords, I always say this when I see this card, that that person is bound around the third eye, the heart, and the gut area, which are our intuitive centers. So the message here is don't overthink it. Tune into what your, you know, intuitive centers want with that Queen of Cups energy, and make the right decision for you to move forward. Because with the Seven of Cups here in the reading, you know, there is a sense of confusion. Maybe you've got lots of options of what to do. You know, this could even be a work situation where it's like, there's so many options, or there's so many ways this could go, I'm just not sure which one to choose. In both work or love, this could be a situation where you've been dealing with somebody who, you know, you kind of know you should wrap up the situation, but every time you get close to that, they move in with another promise. Oh, look, we'll work on it, it'll be different this time. You know, there might be a promotion coming for you early next year. I'm going to work on my stuff if it's a lover. But with the Seven of Cups, for me, this can be my card of hollow promises. And what we really want is follow through. What we really want is some weight behind words. You know, we talked about words at the start of this reading. We create with our words, and we really want to make sure that we're only speaking the words and making the commitments and promises that we can keep. And maybe you have been dealing with somebody who hasn't been doing that. And this is your opportunity here to draw your line in the sand between you and them, because with the Seven of Cups there can be issues of actually materializing and realizing, you know, those promises. It can be the energy of fantasy or illusion, so there might be a fantasy or illusion in the situation that you're buying into. It'll change, it'll be all good in the future, it's okay, I'll give it one more go, but in the meantime you're staying in this charge of internal conflict, Saggy, and you are staying in that Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands, fight, flight, freeze, you know, almost but not quite, just kind of wanting to move forward in your life, but you're just staying in the same energy, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and the outcome energy, we see the Five of Wands now, you know, that continuing of maybe the pettiness, the, you know, like I said, if it's in the workplace, it can be corporate politics and office gossip. If it's in a relationship, it can just be, you know, the niggling at each other and just really unconstructive kind of interaction. Like you can see in this card here, these people are actually hitting each other with their wands, and the wands are our personal power, our energy. For me, this is a card of energy, you know, energy loss and leaks. So it's really saying, you know, hey, rein in your energy, use it wisely, make a good decision here. You know, we're ending this reading on the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Knight of Wands is your energy actually, Saggy. Queen of Wands, you know, is another fire sign energy, and both of these people here, or energies, are about moving forward to a new frontier, totally being in control of your personal power. The Queen of Wands in particular is such a visionary. She can see exactly what opportunity to go for. She is not confused. She is totally clear on her direction, and she offers you the 10th wand to bring this to completion, to bring this judgment to completion and move towards a new direction with power and purpose. to find the situations that are actually going to light her up, him or her up, rather than staying in the fives. So that's the Queen of Wands, and she is an instinctual energy. She operates deeply on her instincts, which is why she has the wolf with her as well. So it's a beautiful energy of eyes on the prize. I know what I need to do now, and there's no confusion. It's just total clarity. And the Knight of Wands, you know, is an energy of just getting on the horse and riding into a new frontier, getting ready for new manifestations. Both of these energies talk about that. So there is a lot of moving on, moving forward energy here. Of course, there's free will, Saggy, so you don't have to do that. But what we kind of see in the situation if we stay is maybe, you know, getting a little bit stuck in the fives, in the conflict. And 5 in tarot is like a turning point. We can make a different choice with the Lovers card here and actually, you know, at least complete it or resolve it so that you can get clarity and you can move towards, you know, a total liberation here with the Judgment energy. So that's what I have for you, Saggy, and I do hope this reading resonated for you, but just keeping in mind it is a reading for the collective. Sometimes the whole thing resonates, sometimes pieces of it does, and sometimes it just doesn't at all. It just means it's not your reading this week. Feel free to drop me a comment if you're called to share. I do read them all and try to respond to as many as I can. Helps me get to know you guys and connect with your energies, and I will see you back here for another reading next week. Bye for now, Saggy.